Welcome back, all you beautiful Bulletproof handymen and women, to the Bulletproof Handyman channel. So the question at hand today is, what's better, a truck, a trailer, or a van? So I'm going to give the one caveat right off the bat that, first of all, don't put off doing your business because you don't have the right vehicle. I've done this out of a Dodge Grand Caravan, a Kia Sportage, a Chevy Trailblazer, two different pickup trucks, and a big van, big giant van. I've done it out of all of those, and you can make it work no matter what your vehicle is. So don't hesitate getting your business going if that's the only thing holding you back. But if we are trying to figure out what's best, I'm going to lay out my opinions on trucks, trailers, and vans. And I'm going to start with trailers. All of these neighborhoods, guys, all the city neighborhoods, they're all full of cars. There's not a lot of parking already to begin with. So the last thing you want, if you're doing lots of little small jobs all over the place, driving all over town every day, replacing faucets, fixing leaks, patching roofs, if that's what you're doing and you're hauling a trailer with you, it's going to be relatively rare that you get to park at the house you're working on. Most of these neighborhoods just have cars all over the place. So to fit your truck with a trailer attached to it in a proper parking area is usually going to mean you're parking a few houses down or even a block away. So if you want to use a trailer, though, I think that could be a good idea if you're doing bigger jobs where you can show up on Monday, drop the trailer at the property, and then work out of that trailer for the next week, just leaving it parked there. I think that would work fine. But if that's not what you're doing, if you're doing regular handyman work all over the place, you just don't want to be encumbered by having to find parking spots big enough to fit you and your trailer in. So next we're going to move on to trucks, right? Trucks, obviously, tons of tradesmen use trucks. There are waterproof covers of different types you can put on the bed. So as far as keeping things waterproof, yes, you can keep things waterproof with a truck. However, all of the ways that I've seen to keep stuff waterproof in the truck is going to require some sort of cover either at bed height or like a cab that goes up a little bit higher than bed height. But no matter how you look at it, when you're doing that and you've got all your stuff in there with like a foot or two between the top of your stuff and the ceiling, let's say you have a camper shell, you're going to have to crawl on top of all your stuff to get to what it is that you need to find. Or you're going to have to reach in really, really far towards the center if you don't want to crawl on top of it, which you can't do with a camper trailer, but you can do with, let's say, a bed cover that lifts up. So, in my opinion, you're going to be able to carry less stuff with a truck, although you can still carry enough. It's going to be harder to access, which limits your efficiency. You're going to spend more time trying to wiggle in and out of there and get to the stuff you need. Also, a typical truck bed is not very long, so it's going to limit how much stuff you can carry, which is also okay because you don't need to carry everything in the world with you every day. But the exception I'll make to the truck, one way that I think a truck can work really well is if it's a very large truck and you get a service bed for it. Service bed being whether it's a open or closed, and I would prefer a closed service bed, but a service bed can be almost like the back end of a van where it's got a door you can open up, you can walk in, you can stand up in there and reach around and look around and grab your stuff. But a truck will work perfectly fine. I've worked out of a truck plenty. It's just a little bit slower and a little bit less convenient because you need to keep it waterproofed. Otherwise, you can't just park your truck at Home Depot and go in with a bed full of tools. So finally, we're going to get down to the van. The van is 100% my vehicle of choice. That's after having done this job out of every other type of vehicle. Vans aren't sexy like trucks, and as far as I can tell, that's mostly the only reason most people want a truck instead of a van. So get a truck if that's what you want. It's not a big issue. But the van, for example, my van has the back end of it where I store everything is fully 10 feet long. So even a truck bed is going to be 8 feet long at most. The back end of my van is 10 feet long, and you can get them even longer. I can also stand up inside it. I may have to stoop a tiny little bit, but I can open the doors, step up into the back. I keep a center aisle clear with all of my bins and boxes on the left and right side. So I can walk up in there. I can quickly walk to what it is that I need, find it, get it, go back in, get my work done, and just as easily put it back and then head on to the next job. I think vans are the best. They're already waterproof as well, so you don't have to worry about purchasing covers or anything like that. So yeah, I think the van is the best choice. However, as I've said and I'll say again, use what you've got. You can do it out of a trailer, you can do it out of a truck, you can do it out of a van. I'm just telling you that what I've found to be the most efficient, efficient meaning we make more money because we get our job done faster and more cleanly. Most efficient is going to be a van. So if you don't mind not having a sexy truck, I suggest a big, giant, extended wheelbase cargo van. My second best option would be a truck with some sort of camper shell over the back of it, preferably one that's a little bit taller that actually has the doors, because then at least you could crawl in on your hands and knees and find stuff instead of having to literally crawl on top of everything. But yeah, that's my answer. And then of course, like I said, you know, as far as a trailer, if you're not doing big jobs, don't use a trailer. But if y'all have any other questions about this, just put them in the comments or email me at bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com.